Hello viewers, will the first crook indictment of Donald Trump come from the Department of Justice? Or from Fani Willis, the Fulton County District lawyer investigating Trump's Find Me the Votes efforts to exchange the electoral consequence in Georgia? Or maybe the indictment will come from Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA who has simply convicted the Trump Organization of a 15-year-old tax ripoff providing off-the-books repayments for luxurious apartments, high-end cars, and personal college tuition. As we proceed, if you are new to my channel, please take a minute of your precious time to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for today's updates from Yusuf Bragg, a modern prosecutor who has taken warmness over what critics have known as extra-lenient attitudes in the direction of violent criminals, have been to indict and convict the Corleone crime household as an entity. It would rarely be a superb increase for regulation enforcement or the prosecutor. Vito, Sonny, Michael, and even Frito would be free to commit greater crimes and even run for workplace due to the fact a conviction of Genco olive oil is now not the equal as sending the Don to Sing Sing. The identical is authentic for Trump and the Trump Organization. The 45th president is free to commit crimes even if his employer has been determined guilty. No one has gotten round to indicting Trump over the January 6 Rise Up or the Mar-a-Lago documents. However, crook referrals from the congressional committee investigating the riot are drawing close for all they might also be worth. Bragg managed to get a tiny notch on his belt when he convicted the Trump Organization. But, as the man said, mighty oaks from little acorns grow. Why did Bragg no longer indict the Don rather of Allen Weisselberg, the cooperating CFO of the Trump Organization, who will do time? The conviction is a small chunk of the prosecutorial apple. No one named Trump will go to prison when the agency is sentenced on January 13, and the most punishment of $1.67 million is extra like a rounding error than a simply penalty for 15 years of tax fraud. So how will this conviction have an effect on the 2024 presidential candidate? First, the Trump Organization will appeal, and it has a respectable argument that Weisselberg dedicated tax fraud for his very own benefit, now not that of the Trump Organization. He obtained compensation in the shape of training for his grandchildren and a luxurious condominium, besides informing the IRS. We all must be so lucky. Even if the agency loses the appeal, Trump will argue in the court docket of public opinion that he is the victim and that Bragg, a Democrat, has colluded with the deep state. Collusion is a concern with which Trump is intimately familiar, as is victimhood. Reputational damage? Trump's identity is already vilified with the 8 of these that despise him, and the conviction will now not shake the cult that idolizes him. For all the discuss of the upward push of Ron DeSantis and Republicans developing weary of Trump, a prosecution may, ironically, be simply the element to put him again on top. Defeated authoritarians almost constantly gain from what they painting as persecution. Hitler got here returned from jail, the place he wrote Mein Kampf. Perón were back to strength in Argentina. And Napoleon bolted from Elba after 9 months. The prosecution is the propulsion. It is human nature to prefer to come back, and testimonies of the unjustly persecuted resonate deeply. What will Bragg do next? Will he be capable to flip the conviction of the Trump Organization into a crook conviction of Trump? Bragg shied away from prosecuting Trump for commercial enterprise fraud remaining February. His predecessor, Cyrus Vance Jr., who left the job in 2021, had teed up the expenses queued up nicely, however Bragg wouldn't swing. 2 distinguished prosecutors who had joined Bragg's group of workers to work the case resigned in protest. Ellis signs and symptoms of some combat left in Bragg. Recently, no longer barring fanfare, he validated the appointment of Matthew Colangelo, previously the 3rd highest rating attorney in the Department of Justice, who helped lead the New York State investigation of Trump's charities, which accelerated into a civil investigation of Trump by means of Tish James, the New York State Lawyer General. Kindly give us your take on this video and thanks for